All right. So we're back at this again. This will be the final series in where to find supplies. And this covers the practical and written exam for New York State. But if anyone is watching from another state, please know some of this does apply to you. When I went and took my nail exam, I looked around on YouTube and I found that some of the videos definitely helped me because I needed to know what it looked like to take the actual practical exam for the state, just the setup overall. I needed to know what I was walking into. So, with that, let's get started. I would like to first just briefly talk about the written exam for New York State in the 50 questions. So this is for all the girlies that's getting ready to take the written exam for New York State. 50 questions. Please do not be afraid to take this exam. This is probably the easiest part of the exam. And I will say these are the important things that you need to focus on, but make sure that you have taken really good notes during your time in class. And if you have questions, go back and ask your instructor. So you need to go over Article 27. And I'm pretty sure all the schools give this, and that deals with setting up your business and the appearance. On the exam, it's also going to talk about the fees that you would pay and the fines that you would pay as setting up your business as a nail tech. So pay attention to that. You're going to go over osmosis, and you need to go over a chapter with the bones in your hand because there's about 5 questions on the exam regarding that. Okay, you need to go over massage movements. There are 3 questions on the exam regarding massage movements. You need to pay attention to that. There are questions regarding the fusser, which is the FISSUR on the exam. And then there is a question about autoclave. And I'll give you the answer to that. It's steam. There are 2 questions regarding shaping of nails and what are the easiest types of nails that will break. And the answer is pointed. But still go over your nail shapes. What are the nails that are square but round? The answer is squoval. Now, it's 50 questions. There's other filler stuff in there, but the most important thing is Article 27, and it kind of repeats itself throughout the exam. And they ask a lot about sanitization, so pay attention to that and make sure you have everything together. But definitely pay attention to the osmosis and anything with bones in your hand. They're going to ask about that. 50 questions on the New York State exam. Definitely, I felt like that was the easiest part. It was the practical that I needed to like prepare for mentally. Because regardless if you do a practice exam at school, it's totally different from when you go in to prepare for the state. Now, your practical exam, do not go in with any type of fancy hands. The instructors do not care. They actually kind of look down on you when you come in with your fancy hand. They actually would like for you to come in with this type of hand. This is what they're looking for. The amount of time that you spend in there, maybe less than an hour for the exam. It depends on the location, but I can definitely tell you the Manhattan location, which is the Empire School on 34th Street, that is the busiest location. I think that's where everyone tends to go, and those instructors are pretty hardcore. So, my advice for anyone taking the practical exam in Manhattan or anywhere around the 5 boroughs or New York State, please make sure that you are 10 to 15 minutes early to prepare and go in and get everything situated with yourself. The Manhattan location, you will go upstairs. That was either the second or third floor, whatever floor that was. You're going to go up to the lady at your desk. She's going to ask you for your ID. You give her your ID. She's going to ask for something else. She asked for something else, but whatever it is, you give it to her. She's going to give you a number. You're then going to take that number and she's going to go tell you to step around the corner and line up against the wall. There will be others. This is a very busy location, so I'm going to tell you You line up according to your number. So if you're the fifth person to walk in, you should be the fifth person in line. Nobody should be jumping in front of you. Once you're lined up against the wall, the closer it gets to you going in to take your practical, another lady will come. It might be the lady from the desk, but it might be one of the instructors. They're going to come and they're going to ask you to open your bags because they want to look at your Cuccio bag that you're going to use for your acrylic exam. It must be sealed. It cannot be open and it cannot be a used one. So please make sure that you have purchased a brand new Cuccio kit for your acrylic part of the exam. Okay? And this is the practice hand you're going to use. Whether you have to buy two of them or one, make sure you have a good practice hand, whether it be brand new. I would say go in with a brand new practice hand. Do not take your used practice hand into an exam because I swear to God, they look at everything. Everything. Also, for sanitation, you can use the wipes and they have to be with 90% alcohol. Make sure that they're 90% alcohol. They look at that too. Whether you use the spray or the wipes to wipe down your table, they look at that really hard. I almost got dinged for that because I picked up some wipes from CVS. I don't think they felt like it was 90%, but they were. It was just CVS brand. So make sure that they're 90% alcohol, enough where they don't criticize it. But I passed. Now, you're going to get to labeling. These are what your labeling for your bags should look like. So I'm going to go slow on the screen so you can see everything. That way you can screenshot it and print out whatever you need to print out. But this is what your labeling for your bags for your practical exam should look like. This was the main thing that threw me when I was preparing everything because I was like, this is overwhelming. Like, what am I doing? So this is what your labeling is going to look like, state board labels. And this is kind of what your bag should look like. Now, what you're seeing here is what my teacher actually prepared. She used to sell kits for people taking their practical exam. So you can kind of mimic this when you're building your kit, just to give you an idea. And I'll take you back. This is what your kit for basic manicuring should look like. And there are big, large Ziploc bags. So if you don't have a lot of money and you need large Ziploc bags, try Family Dollar, not the Dollar Tree, Family Dollar or Walmart. You will come out better in terms of cost effectiveness. If you're looking for like new tools to pack your bags, do not order from Shein. Do not order from Temu. You can go into some of your local nail supplies and find most of these tools. And I also supplied several websites where you can find a lot of this on it, like Nail Glamour. You can look at the previous videos and you will find a lot of this stuff at reasonable price inside the United States, and you don't have to wait on supplies. Your tip application bag, your nail polish application bag. Now, this part of the exam for New York State, I just want to tell you, this is exactly how the script is going to be read. The instructors for all the locations literally read from the script verbatim. So my advice to the girl is do a practice run. Whether you do it by yourself or you have someone read to you, do a practice run. This will help you prepare mentally. It will help you to prepare to learn how to listen to what they're saying. That way you're not jumping ahead of them. The most important thing is, are you following directions? You need to listen clearly to what they're saying so that you are following directions. They're going to ask you to prepare your work area first. I'm going to preach this to the high end. When you are preparing your area and when you're setting up for the new part of your exam, sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. The preparation of the work area is really about sanitation. They pay attention to all this, but this is your script and everything on here is what you're pretty much going to do. Now, with the New York or the Manhattan location, they pretty much said prepare your work area and basic manicure for preparation. So we did a 2-in-1. We prepared our area and we set up for basic manicure preparations. This is for the Manhattan location. I do not know about the others because I spoke to some other friends and it was done a little different. But I will tell you, when you're doing this, you're going to sanitize, sanitize, and sanitize. You're going to sanitize before you put anything on there, and you're going to sanitize after you finish everything with this step. Listen to whatever they're telling you. So, this is the verbal instructions. Go over this because this is what they repeat verbatim to you. And then follow your steps so that you become more relaxed when you're in there to do it. And it's like listening to them. When I went in and I did this, I literally listened to them verbatim because I actually went over this and it allowed me to understand, like, oh, they're telling me to do this. And this is what I read on the paper when I practiced. So it made sense. That hand, that practice hand for tip application, when it comes down to this part, after you've cleared your area and disinfected, they're going to tell you prepare for the tip application and shaping. It really only takes 15 minutes. It shouldn't take longer than that. Pay attention and follow directions. When I was in there was one girl that got eliminated for this, and I will tell you, you do have to sit through the rest of the exam if you get eliminated. Once that's done, they're going to tell you safety, infection control. It means you clean your area. They're going to ask you, please now clear your area, and we're going to start on the wrap application. I watched 3 girls be eliminated because they came in with pre-cut wraps for the silk wrap application. Do not do it. It must be fresh from your kit. It cannot be pre-cut or anything. They will eliminate you on the spot and they will make you sit through the whole exam after they eliminate you. So I'm warning you about this. Do not go in with any pre-cut wraps for your fiberglass application or silk wrap. And then for your acrylic application, I'm going to tell you now, that Cuccio kit needs to be sealed going into the exam. They pay attention to everything. Now, they do pay attention to the shape and when you do your shaping of your nails, but they're not stickler for it. They want to just make sure that you understand the steps and understand what you're doing. So don't be too hard on yourself. The main thing is to follow the directions and the steps that the state requires you to pass the exam when you're doing nails. The polish application, 15 minutes literally, and then you wait. And when you're finished, they will let you know that you can leave. And then they'll tell you to check your email in a couple of days. And it's literally maybe less than 3 days. The exam goes really fast, maybe no more than 45 minutes. Some people's like, oh, it's an hour. It depends on the location. But I just remember mine was like 45 minutes. It went fast. So the main thing is, please make sure that you are listening to what they're saying because everything is read off the sheet verbatim, literally. And this will be your lifesaver in your practice. That way you can understand when you're hearing them talk, you'll be like, oh yeah, I went over this. So now I know what to do. Do not be afraid to take this exam. You will pass it, okay? You will pass. Another thing, there is more than enough room for nail techs throughout New York State and throughout all states. So do not let anyone deter you from doing what you want to do. If you just want to be a nail tech that does press on nails, then do so. I actually have a friend that she does not do any nails, but she does press on nails, and that is why she went to school. It was in case she ever wanted to step in a salon. If you want to be a traveling nail tech, you can do it. Do not let anyone deter you from what you want to do. This is not the 90s. This is not the early 2000s. This is a whole different time, and social media will allow you the means to live being a nail tech. So you have the power, you have the tools, you have the information that you need. And if anyone from any other state is watching, please know, although this is for New York State, some of these rules apply to you. Just remember that sanitation is key. So when you're going through reading or practicing for your practical, remember to sanitize, sanitize, sanitize after each step. because really what your instructors are looking at is how clean are you? When you finish a set of nails, are you cleaning up after yourself? So with that, like, share, and subscribe. There is more content coming. This series has ended, and the next content will be more storytelling and nails being done online. So you will be definitely getting something a little different from the normal nails that are being done. And I'll share some unpackaging of some new stuff that I've ordered. Thank you, and I hope to see you again. Bye.